Following the publication of her memoir, Amy Duggar supports her cousin Jill Duggar, encouraging you on. The new memoir Counting the Cost, written by Jill Duggar, was published on Tuesday, September 12. Jill's cousin Amy Duggar has applauded her relative's work. She sent Jill an encouraging note along with an Instagram snapshot of the couple. "Godspeed to those who read your heart, my friend. It's all about helping so many hurting individuals," Amy, 36, wrote in the caption of a post published the same day the book was released. "We've talked about how tough it is to trust when you're wary after everything we've been through, but despite everything, I'm so grateful God has given us courage. I've said it a lot, but it bears repeating. I appreciate how you and at Directia stand up for the truth. God is in front of you both. I'm behind you 100%. Love, Ames," she concluded the tweet with, referring to Jill, 32, and her husband Derek Dillard, 34. "I love who you are, Amy," Deanna Duggar commented in the comments. "My lovely daughter, God is advancing. And I do think that this is the perfect time for you to tell your tale and all that has shaped who you are. Jill is so brave for sharing her truth," one fan said. One person said, "I hope she sells a ton of copies," while another said, "Yes, her will to uphold the truth, her steadfast faith, and her remarkable affection for her family. I'm so glad you two are together, and I'll always be rooting for you too." Jill's book included a variety of delicate subjects pertaining to her well-known family, although she mostly concentrated on her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, and her elder brother Josh Duggar. She explained in one chapter how it was challenging to comprehend why her parents worked so hard to shield Josh, 35, when they learned he had been abusing Jill and sister Jessa Duggar as well as two other siblings when he was a teenager. "Even though I adore my parents and it makes perfect sense for them to want to look after and protect their child," she continued, "I mentioned this to Derek, and he replied that he had noticed the same thing. I couldn't help but think about the extent that Pops had taken to protect Josh's privacy and save him from being publicly humiliated. As the emotions intensified, I felt utterly ill to my stomach, and by the time I went to bed." Jill also disclosed that Josh was sent away to the Institute in Basic Life Principles, a family's church-run rehab facility, for a second time after he was discovered viewing porn. The IBLP encouraged parents to clip their children's wings and keep them in the role of dependent children as long as possible, Jill wrote. Jim Bob, 58, continued by saying that Josh was the only child he couldn't prevent from making mistakes. The former Counting On star also spoke about a close call with her father. He allegedly said, "You sent me a text message, Jill," in her journal entry. "You claimed I was berating you verbally. That greatly offended me as well. That is wrong, and you know it in your heart. Will you provide an apology for that?" When Jill didn't respond, her father allegedly became loud, saying, "There was an edge to it that I'd rarely heard. Pops moved closer to me, narrowing the distance. It wasn't an act of peacemaking. It was an aggressive act. He towered over me and was enraged all over. My face became flushed. My eyes started to cry. Then there was a lengthy, terrible pause that I tried to fill but was unable to do so at that time. Pop's voice rang in my ears like crazy. The strikes he spoke were words. I made an automatic effort to shield myself from him and avoid him. I sunk into my seat and assumed a fetal stance in an effort to find protection." Jim Bob and Michelle, 56, responded to Jill's book and her assertions in a statement. "We adore each and every one of our kids dearly. Conflicts or issues among the people you love may be traumatic in any family," as the pair told People. "We don't think that the most effective strategy to settle disputes, encourage pardon and reconciliation. We won't comment because there are other ways to discuss challenges, such as through the media or in a public forum.